Today, we're going to jump into talking about the 7 mistakes that home buyers make and how to avoid them. So let's just jump right in. Mistake number 1, one of the biggest mistakes I see is people starting to look at houses before they ever even talk to a lender. They'll go to open houses, they'll look online, and they will fall in love with a house before they even know what price range they're actually approved for. And that can lead to a lot of disappointment if you find out later that the home you love is outside of your budget. So before we even talk about looking at houses, it's really important to understand the difference between being pre-approved and pre-qualified, because they are not the same thing. Being pre-qualified is usually a very quick conversation with a lender where you tell them your income, your debts, and some very basic financial information. They'll give you a rough estimate of what you might be able to afford. It's actually a very helpful place because it gives you a good little starting point, but it's not a full approval and it doesn't carry as much weight when you go to make an offer on a house. Being pre-approved is much more detailed and much more preferred. The lender actually reviews your documents like pay stubs, tax returns, bank statements, and they also pull your credit. Then they will give you a pre-approval letter that shows sellers that a lender has already looked at your finances and believes you are qualified to buy a home up to that certain amount. And this is really important because when you go to make an offer on that house that you love, the seller is much more likely to take your offer seriously if you are pre-approved and not just pre-qualified. In some markets, sellers won't even consider an offer without a pre-approval letter. Getting pre-approved also helps you understand what your monthly payment and what your monthly everything is going to look like, not just the price of the house. So before you start seriously looking at homes, step 1 should always be to talk to a lender and get pre-approved so you know your budget, your payment, and you're ready to move quickly when you find the right house. This is why I always tell people lender first, house second. Mistake number 2, another big mistake is focusing only on the price and not on the monthly payment itself. So like we talked about before, it's not just the loan payment, it includes much more than just your loan. It includes your property taxes, your homeowner's insurance, and sometimes flood insurance and HOA dues. 2 houses that are the exact same price can have very different monthly payments depending on taxes and insurance. So when you're deciding what you can afford, you really need to look at the full monthly payment, not just the purchase price. I always tell buyers that the monthly payment is what affects your day-to-day life and your budget, not just the sticker price of the house. Mistake number 3. A lot of buyers, especially first-time buyers, don't realize that closing costs are a separate payment from the down payment, and this is where people sometimes get surprised. Closing costs will include things like lender fees, the appraisal, title fees, prepaid property taxes, prepaid homeowner's insurance, and a few other items that are part of getting the loan and transferring the property. A good rule of thumb is that closing costs are usually around 2 to 4% of the purchase price. So just to give you a real example, if you were buying a home for $250,000, your closing costs might be somewhere around $5,000 to $10,000. Now that's not exact, but it's a good estimate, so you're in the right ballpark. Now the good news is that in some situations, you can negotiate. I can negotiate for my seller, help them pay some of those closing costs depending on the market and how the offer is written. I help my buyers look at that when we're making an offer so we can try to keep their out-of-pocket costs as low as possible. But The main thing to know is that your down payment and your closing costs are two different things that you are going to be required to make, and that you're going to want to talk to your lender early so that you know what that total amount is going to look like before you get too far into the process. Your lender will usually give you something called a loan estimate, and that document will break down your estimated closing costs, your monthly house payment, your interest rate, and all of the details of the loan. That's one of the most important documents to review when you're buying a home. Mistake number 4, skipping the inspection is something I strongly advise buyers not to do. The inspection is your opportunity to have a professional look at the home and check things out like the roof, the HVAC system, plumbing, electrical, and just the overall condition of the house. The inspection doesn't mean the house has to be perfect, but it does give you a clear picture of what you're buying. If the inspector finds issues, you might be able to negotiate repairs or a credit from the seller. The inspection is there to protect you, and it's one of the most important parts of home buying process. I've had several inspections that found some major issues that would have never been found without it. So definitely do not skip this step. In fact, go further and make sure you have a licensed plumber scope the lines, especially on older homes, and make sure to get a termite inspection as well. Mistake number 5. This is a big one, and a lot of people don't realize just how important it is. Once you are under contract and in the loan process, you do not want to make any big purchases, open any new credit cards, buy a car or new furniture or anything that changes your financial situation without first talking to your lender. Your lender will continue to check your credit and your financial situation all the way up until closing. So if you go and buy a new car or you finance a bunch of new furniture before closing, it can actually affect your loan approval. So I always tell my buyers, once you are pre-approved, and especially if you're under contract to buy a house, try to keep everything financially exact as the same until after you close. Mistake number 6. Just because a lender says you are pre-approved for a certain amount doesn't always mean that's the amount that you should spend. You still need to think about your comfort level and your monthly budget. When you own a home, you're going to have maintenance, you're going to have repairs, utilities, and other costs that come with home ownership. So even if you purchase a new build and you're not worried about repairs, you still have to think about purchases like window blinds, fencing in the yard, and other costs that are associated with new construction. The fact is, you don't want to be house poor where all of your money is going toward your house payment and you don't have room in your budget for anything else. So it's just super important to choose a price range that you feel comfortable with, not just the maximum amount that you're approved for. Mistake number 7. The last mistake I see buyers who find a house they love, but they wait too long to make a decision and then the house is gone. Good homes, especially the ones that are priced well and in very desirable areas, don't always stay on the market very long. You want to be prepared so that when you find the right house, you can move forward confidently. That's why getting pre-approved, understanding your budget, and knowing what you want ahead of time is so important because it allows you to make a good decision quickly when the right house does come along. So there you have it. Those are some of the biggest mistakes that I see home buyers make. And the good news is it's easy. Every single one of these is avoidable if you just understand the process and you have the right people helping you along the way. If you're thinking about buying a home in the Shreveport or Bossier City area, or you're planning a move to Northwest Louisiana and you're looking to move anywhere between the next 3 months or 9 months or even next month, let me know. I'd love to help you through the process and to make sure that you avoid all of these mistakes. My contact information is in the description below, so please feel free to reach out anytime, and I will see you in the next video.